Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at AVAX. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to check that out before watching this one. Now, let's jump into the daily chart. So we are printing a bearish cross on the daily chart. The 20 EMA, which is the yellow line over here, and the 55 EMA, which is the red line over here. They're having a cross. So the 20 is crossing the 55, and that is usually your precursor to another leg down. So we are potentially going to enter a bit of a midterm downtrend over here for AVAX, because if you look historically at these bearish crosses and bullish crosses, basically a bullish cross is exactly the opposite of a bearish cross. This is when the 20 crosses from below, crosses the 55, and we are seeing this price appreciation. So basically this is kind of your indicator. If you bought at that cross, you would have seen a nice 350% move if you didn't sell along the way up, because it never went back down to these numbers. Now, once you have this bearish cross, as you can see over here, now this bearish cross happened pretty quickly. It's not as you can see, because the drop off was very, very sudden over here. But here you can see that we're not really having this sort of a sudden drop off. So this is why I think even if we have this bearish cross and the markets start recovering, we're going to get a bullish cross soon after. I've seen that happen many times before. So it's not 100% guarantee that we're getting a downtrend, a continuous downtrend on AVAX on the daily chart after getting the bearish cross, but it's something to keep in mind. And the only thing that would really mean for you is to have some fiat ready for some dips on AVAX, and that's pretty much it. I never recommend selling at a loss, because what is the point of selling at a loss? You sell your AVAX now, you have your US dollars, right? Let's say, what are you going to do with those dollars? Buy into something else? Well, why did you sell AVAX in the first place? So that's why you don't invest money that you are going to need in the short term, right? I don't invest any money that I'm going to need in the short term, so that if the markets dip, I can just buy and dollar cost average, and I don't have to worry about my coins, dropping in price, because I know eventually they're going to go up, right? So we are still early here for the crypto revolution. Now, jumping into the daily chart, you can see we have this white trend line over here, and we've held it as support multiple times. And I do think we can potentially land on this zone and bounce off of it. So we can potentially do something like this. Let me get the brush, bounce off of this trend line, and have the next move to the upside. Failing that, if we have a bounce from here and we fail to hold it as support and we break to the downside, back test it as resistance, and land on this next support that we have at $70.86. That is the second scenario that could potentially happen. But for that, I would think that Bitcoin would go below 40K once again, which is still possible. Open up your charts, open up the monthly chart for Bitcoin, bring out the 20 EMA, look where that 20 EMA is. As long as we don't go below the 20 EMA, we are in an uptrend, we are in a bull market. There is no need to worry, guys. Don't let anyone fool you with this bear market stuff, because have they even looked at the charts? I mean, we are nowhere near a bear market. I mean, it's just crazy. So many people are talking about the bear market, But yeah, this is just obviously my opinion. It's what I'm telling you. It doesn't mean that it's right, doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just my opinion, and you have to do your own research regardless. So like I said, this white trend line can potentially hold us as support. Why do I say that? Because every time we had a bounce off of this trend line, we had a move to the upside. If I extend it to the left side over here, you can see that we even had another wick to this white trend line, and as you can see, each time we have a bounce, we have a move to the upside. So that's why I'm expecting this. Like I said, since we had this bearish cross over here, we are potentially going to lose this as support. So this is around $80, I would say $79.5, $6 per AVAX coin. We lose that, you're coming down to 70.8. Now, if you lose that, at that point, I would start looking at a lower support, which is $60.65 right over here. So this is the first fib level of our large Fibonacci retracement. If I zoom out, Okay, if I zoom out, you can see that we have our swing high over here in February, our swing low here in June, July. This yellow rectangle, as you can see, is the buy zone I was giving you back in June, July, and from there, as you can see, we've appreciated very nicely. So anyone who bought in here, congratulations. So this Fibonacci retracement gives us the 1.618 target at $192. And that is because we broke through this first fib level, right? And once you break through that first fib level, you're in a technical target to the 1.618. That doesn't mean that you're going to get there, in a couple of days. That doesn't mean that you're going to get there at all, but you are in that technical target. So from a technical standpoint, I'm still looking at $192 per AVAX token. That's when I'm going to be taking a lot of the profits that I'm going to have. But like I said, this first fib level looks like we can potentially retest because we haven't really had that conclusive back test of support. You had this strong breakout, you started this little consolidation period, but you never seem to have back tested this area properly. So $60, 60 cents. I would even buy in at $61, $62 to be safe. So this is the area that I'm going to be looking at. Now, looking in the opposite direction, if we start pumping in a couple of days, right, we get some quick bullish news and we see the markets, doing good. What I would expect is either a rejection at the 1.414, once again at $131.50. I gave you this, guys, months ago, and it was met perfectly. And from there, we had that pullback. You could have bought back in much cheaper. So, yeah, like I said, if we have a nice relief rally, a quick little pump in the markets, the 1.414 is a great resistance level. Now, if you want to be a little more conservative and potentially you want to buy back from this white trend line, you can look at a sell level at the 1.272, which is exactly at $100.85. That's a nice 30% trade for you. Actually, no, let me give you that exactly. That's a nice 27.3% trade, which is not bad. But like I said, that's only in the case if we start pumping and you're ready to take some profits and you actually want to take some profits. I'm not telling you to take profits because some people think that I'm actually encouraging people to sell or to buy. It's not up to me. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just giving you my opinion so that you can understand the charts a bit better. Now, for us to lose this swing high, that would be kind of bearish, right? Because I don't want to see us lose this low, right? If we start losing this October low that we had here at $54, that would be kind of bearish, right? Because then you would be looking at this 786 on the Fibonacci retracement at $40. And at that point, that would be a pretty hefty correction of 72%. But I don't envision that happening. If that does happen, then that's potentially, the bear market for the AVAX coin. Now, jumping into the daily RSI over here. Wow, it's a bit messy. Let me clean this up for you. All right, now it looks a bit better. So you have this you have this pink resistance line, and this is basically a resistance line that we've hit back in August. We've hit it in November, and we could potentially hit our head on it once again. So that's why I'm having it on this RSI on the daily chart. Below that, you have another pink trend line that we've hit multiple times, once in August, 2 times in September, another in October. We even bounced off of it as support, lost it as support, back tested it as resistance once again in November. Barely got above it here in December, bounced back, and we can potentially look at that line as a resistance line. And then we have this green trend line, which was a support trend line for a very long time. We had a bounce of support over here, and we can potentially look at this line as a resistance line once again. And this white trend line that I have over here below is a very good support line. And as you can see, we're actually landing on it right now. So we can potentially see a bounce from here. So this, in my opinion, would be a great dollar cost averaging opportunity, because once you see a bounce on the RSI level, that's a good indicator that you are potentially going to start a move to the upside. That's just what I do, what I recommend. But, you can see that you had a backtest of resistance of this white trend line. You broke above, you're backtesting it as support, and then you can move onwards and upwards. But you can actually, lose it, right, and go down lower. But that's why you want a dollar cost average and put in little bits here. If you go lower, you put in little bits more. If you get oversold here below the index of 30, you buy as much as you can, because that's the best sale that you're going to get. And yeah, so I always recommend you copy all these resistance lines to your charts so you can look at them whenever you want, right? So the green trend line here, you can see the points of contact being highlighted with the yellow circle. The pink trend lines are easy to set up. So yeah, it's really easy, guys. But yeah, now let's take a look at the Binance chart real quick. Now, jumping into the Binance chart, I don't want to take a lot of your time. If you checked out the previous updates, you would have seen that I have this white trend line up, and we're not really, as you can see, yeah, we're holding it as support. We've been holding it as support over here. But what I want you to focus on is this white trend line over here. And we've been holding this as support since November. So we had a touch in November, almost 2 touches in December, then 2 touches in December once again, a couple of touches in January, and we're potentially landing on this white trend line once again. So this can be another support zone for you. We have a Fibonacci retracement set up over here. It's a smaller version of the fib that we had previously. So here the swing high is, let me see, $79, $80 basically. And the swing low we have here at $50. So we got to the 2.272. Now we're retracing back to the first fib level, and we can potentially land on some support zones. So $80, a nice support zone for you. $72.9, another great support for you guys. And obviously the golden ratio here at 67.5. If it goes anywhere below that, I would say, just keep dollar cost averaging, because I can give you these support levels, continuously, but it really doesn't matter if the project is free falling, right? So if it gets below a certain support level, you just want to keep dollar cost averaging, right? There's going to be, thousands of support levels below, but I'm just telling you that if you lose this golden ratio and go below that, because the $67.5 is the golden ratio and you haven't had the back test of support. So that's why I think if we land on that zone, that can potentially be our reversal. And yeah, on the MACD, we're in a bearish cross here. We're looking to make a bullish cross, failed to do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it on the stochastic. As you can see, we started recovering here from the oversold zone, and right now we're printing a bearish cross on the stochastic. So potentially you're going to start moving back down over here. Let me get the brush. You're going to start moving back down, and once you see yourself down in this zone once again, that's when you want to be dollar cost averaging and buying into the dip, because that's when you're oversold based on the stochastic RSI. The video has gone on for too long. I do apologize. I don't want to take any more of your time, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Feel free to check out our Telegram chat. Great community over there. We have a Discord server as well, and we do have a Patreon. Great buy alerts over there. Great sell alerts as well. Low cap gem calls. Technical analysis requests, video requests, all that type of stuff. The link is in the description. Make sure to check it out. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.